What is going on, Misfit Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Matt the Misfit. This is your Monday Night Raw review for April the 1st, 2024. The final Raw before the biggest WrestleMania in history. WrestleMania 40 comes to you live on Saturday, April 6th and Sunday, April 7th. Big week ahead. Of course, we got a lot of stuff to go over for this week. We'll go over the schedule for this week's podcast. There's going to be a lot of shows happening this week. Like I said, we have Raw tonight to go over, which was a fine episode, very fun episode. Not as great as last week's episode, because I don't know how you... that episode is still phenomenal stuff here. Then you have Dynamite, which after today, Dynamite is going to be a very interesting program to talk about when we get to that stuff. Thursday, we have the Stardom show, Stardom's American Dream 2024. We'll go over the card for that show. That card has been announced. We also seen the final shows as contracted talent for Stardom. They had their final shows this weekend. Giulia has already made her first post-Stardom appearance for Pro Wrestling Noah. Seems like she's going to be doing the freelancing bit before she heads to Rossy Ogawa's promotion and then straight into WWE following that. We'll talk about that much more. Please hit that like button, comment down below, hit the subscribe button. Follow the social medias, Pile Driver Post on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram. We follow the audio outlets. I keep forgetting to mention this because I still have this as an audio outlet. Audible, we are on Audible, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio, and then of course YouTube.com/@Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of things, of course, which is the I must have the Stardom show. We're not doing a Stardom review, though there was a very good. I'll get into Stardom in a little bit, but we got some breaking news here, which was the AEW releases that happened today. Kind of, you don't normally see AEW mass releases. There was only 10 names that was released from the company. The names are as followed: the Boys, which are the tag team with our Ring of Honor's Dalton Castle. Dasha, which is the ring announcer. Also, I know her more as Dasha Fuentes. She starting doing more ring announcing for Collision. Jose, the assistant, which really I don't think I've been doing much of anything since Rush went down with an injury. So I've kind of done, and losing Andrade, so they haven't really done much of him. I'm going to butcher this name here. Joel. Sorry if I butcher that name. I don't know. I have a fucking clue who that is. Henry Anthony, which is a member of the Workhorsemen, he is gotten released. He is still recovering from a broken jaw, I believe he's supposed to have surgery for. That is fucked up on Tony Khan's part. Fuck him for that. Gravity. He didn't forget Gravity. He actually just let go of Gravity. Sorry for the joke there, but Gravity has been released. Stu Grayson, former member of the Dark Order, was at one point the member of the Righteous. Let go again. Well, not again. I say again, but he actually, unlike last time, he let his contract expire. Then they re-signed him and did nothing with him for whatever reason. And then they put him, they tried to put him back with Dark Order. Didn't do much with him. Then they put him with the Righteous, and put him on Ring of Honor. I don't think he's done much of anything. Let's look at his AEW run since coming back here. I'm actually very curious about something here. So let's go to matches here. Stu Grayson. So his last AEW match was a dark match on August the 30th. He took on Robert Anthony. And then before that, he had the Forbidden Door match against El Phantasmo on the 0 Hour. And then his last official match for the Tony Khan's promotion was a Death Before Dishonor last July 21st, 2023, where he had that really good, fun Fight for Without Honor match between when the Dark Order, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and John Silver took on the Righteous, and that was the last time he was used on any type of stuff when it comes to Tony Khan stuff. His last official match before getting fired was the C4 event over in Ontario, Canada. It was Team Evil Uno, to take on Dexter, Doom, and Hattie at a C4 online event. And then before that, he defeated Kevin Blackwood at Mystery Wrestling. So again, it kind of sucks that they kind of just brought him in. They had him do some cool stuff with the Dark Order at first. He left, then was brought back, and they didn't do a fucking thing with him. So Parker Boudreaux, the former Holland in NXT, I had a feeling he was not going to last very long in AEW, because they didn't do anything with it. Let me see. Did they ever do anything with this person? Did he ever wrestle a match for AEW? Okay, so he did. So he did 12 matches total for AEW, and he only did 3 televised matches. His last one was March the 3rd, 2023. He teamed with Swerve Strickland, who thank God is doing much better things here. They lost to Dustin Rhodes and Keith Lee, which I'm a little surprised Keith Lee was not on the chopping block, because Keith Lee, to my knowledge, they haven't done a thing with Keith Lee since December 23rd, when he beat Brian Cage in an episode of Collision. In this one, Jay, he was around. So those are your I believe it was 10 AEW AEW releases. As far as we know, those are the only ones that we know of. So there is that. Let's talk about Giulia here. Let's bring up some Giulia stuff here. So Giulia did an interview. If I can find the interview, she talked about some things. Somebody asked her about WWE. If I can find the actually no, I think I like the tweet here. Give me a second here. Let's see if I can find it here. Here we go. So here is what Giulia had said. She had made an appearance this morning at a oh my god, what was it? She made an appearance at Ring of Honor, not Ring of Honor. Fuck, she would never go there. Oh my god, what is the damn name of that show? That promotion? Pro Wrestling Noah. I don't know why that took me a good fucking minute to remember that, but she appeared for Pro Wrestling Noah, and then we found out that she will be wrestling on the next Pro Wrestling Noah pay-per-view event called WrestleMania 2024, Ryogoku Sumo Hall. Don't know who she will be wrestling on that show, but she is going to be there. This is her first match post, her first non-Stardom match, her first post-Stardom match. She still has one more Stardom date. She's not under contract, so like technically she can show up in Philadelphia this coming weekend without any restrictions at all. She has one more date for Stardom, one more match scheduled for Stardom on the 12th of April. Same thing with Utami Hayashida. So that should be a very interesting, very, very interesting. See what they have here. It seems like she's going to do some freelancing before setting up with Rossi Ogawa and his promotion. Then right after that, head over to WWE somewhere in the summer, maybe. But here is what Giulia had to say. She was interviewed by Tokyo Sports. She said, somebody when questioned about what she's going to do in the future, she says, after all, the most important thing is how many exciting encounters and fights I can have. This is the second time I have left the company. I'm going to show more people the current Giulia and make them obsessed with Giulia, with basically what she said here. She did actually keep. It seems like she was allowed to keep her Gloria theme, which is very interesting. So let's see if she goes to WWE with that theme. That's pretty good here. So Giulia, who showed up on the Monday Magic show that they had here, gave her impressions on the show. She says, "There are women in the ring, right? I thought there might be someone interesting among them. I would like to revitalize women's pro wrestling and the pro wrestling world by competing with more established outside wrestlers. That also one of the reasons why I left Stardom. For some of the people in the ring today, it was my first time seeing them. For others, this was the first time I had seen them in several years. There's also that Great Muda's daughter, the great Kayaka, right? I'm interested, is what Giulia said. She's also mentioned, somebody asked her about WWE. If I can find it, here she is. The possibility, I bit my tongue there a little bit. The possibility of joining WWE in the future, or going to WWE in the future. She says, and I quote, could you guys have imagined a few months ago that Giulia would be standing here in the ring today? You don't know what will happen tomorrow. That's pro wrestling. She basically didn't even answer the question, right? Like, she didn't answer the question because she's not going to tell you. We, as wrestling fans, already know the answer. Like, yeah, I'm going to WWE. I already know this information. But she's not going to come out there and tell you straight up that's what's happening, you know? So she's not gonna tell anybody. She's already told Triple H and Khan and them, mainly Triple H, when she's gonna come over, and so yeah. I'll talk about this. I will talk more about Giulia's reason to wanting to leave Stardom when we talk about the Stardom show this week. I'll talk about that. He does speak on Rossi Ogawa's promotion that he's planning on watching. He says, do as I please, free as a bird. Which, again, ignoring completely both questions about Rossi Ogawa and WWE on purpose, because that's where she's ultimately going. So yeah, we'll talk more about Giulia and what's coming up here. We'll see what they're gonna do with Utami. She hasn't really announced what she's gonna be doing for that stuff. CM Punk was in the news. Oh boy, was he ever. He basically neutraled, like he nuked AEW. Right, he praised what was going on in WWE now. He did mention stuff about the Vince McMahon stuff, which I will touch upon a little bit here. That he basically said he's read the text, and it's inexcusable. You can't defend him on that. So He's a piece of shit, basically, is what he said. So there's that. He also talked about, he confirmed the stories from Fightful Select about the whole lead up to the Survivor Series, the conversations that he and Triple H had at the beginning of that week on that Monday. And then they had some type of, I guess, Punk was talking about his the MMA fight they had to call, whatever. And then I believe he said it was either Thursday or Friday. However, I talked about it here. Nick Khan was unaware that because we were able to find out, we did have confirmation finally that CM Punk did not have a non-compete clause. And Nick Khan was like, well, I wish you had told me that sooner, because we were thinking about maybe the Royal Rumble. And Punk was like, no, the Survivor Series is in Chicago. This is the place to do that. So they did that, and then Punk confirmed that he didn't sign the contract until he went out, until 10 minutes before he went out to the curtain. So, and so there is that. Talked about the whole thing with Jack Perry, basically confirming the reports that Jack Perry, he was asked by AEW people at Collision to get a hold of Jack Perry. Basically, Jack Perry apparently cursed out the Doctor, Tony Schiavone, maybe Jerry. I think he might have been Jerry Lynn that was there. Some other people there about wanting to use Real Glass, a rentals car. Which Punk was like, first of all, you've been told no by all these people out here, and then I find out you're cursing at them, and now I'm telling you no. Why the fuck are you going to use a rental car, for one thing, just to bust the window, and then you have to return these rental cars to whatever bumfuck organization it is that you get the rental cars from, and those that company is no longer going to want to do business with you because you fucking ruined their car for one fucking segment. So there's that, and apparently that, according to Punk, for whatever reason, became personal for Jack Perry, and then the whole Real Glass incident at All In. I basically told Tony Khan, he went to Tony Khan and says, "Fix this, or I'm gonna fix it, or you're not gonna like what happens if I fix it." And apparently, Jack Perry got into Punk's face and whatever it was. And I said, I forget exactly what he said here, but he said, I didn't punch him, but I just choked him out a little bit. So that was confirmed here. After that, Punk was like, you're a fucking clown. This is a fucking joke of a company. I quit. I want out of here. They went out. Went out there, did his match with Samoa Joe because he respected and loved Joe, and those two have been friends for many, many years, and they just did that thing there. Apparently, CM Punk told Tony Khan that Collision was not going to work. Having separate rosters and having a second show, for someone like me or whatever was not going to work, and he kind of right because no one's watching Collision anymore. It was kind of a dumb idea. You already have Rampage, a show no one watches to begin with, and now even less people watch that show. More people watch Collision than they do Rampage, and if Rampage wasn't around, less people would be watching Collision. He wanted to get fired. He did not want to come back before they did the whole Collision thing. And for whatever reason, this is where I don't understand Tony Khan's mindset here. Is like, you kind of are holding this man hostage for somebody who obviously no longer wants to be there, because apparently you are too fucking stupid and stubborn to even actually be like. Punk called Tony Khan a nice guy but a terrible boss. And if I'm being completely honest, and he even took shots at Dave Meltzer, rightfully so, because I fucking hate Dave Meltzer. I fucking hate him. I hate him probably as much as CM Punk does. He said Tony Khan worries too much about getting a 5-star fucking rating from Dave Meltzer than he does about creating stories and selling out arenas and selling tickets and shit. Like, for example, like let me show you something. I'm not going to show you. I'm going to tell you about it. Dynamite this Wednesday is coming from Worcester, Massachusetts, right? Let's on this show. I want to tell you how many fucking matches on here I don't fucking mean a goddamn thing. Will Ospreay and Powerhouse Hobbs is on this show for what reason? There's no story behind this match. I don't give a shit that it's because they're in the Don Callis family. What's the story? Again, this is what CM Punk is talking about. Putting matches on here to have great fucking matches, to pop a Meltzer's 5-star rating. Like, what purpose? Like if I'm really thinking about it, you got the contract signing with Samoa Joe for Strickland. That's a storyline. People are invested in it. That's good. More of that. No one gives a shit about Chris Jericho. Okay, not in 2023. No one wants to see a fucking past his prime Billy Gunn take on Switchblade Jay White, who should be doing other things. He shouldn't even be in this company, if I'm being completely honest here. That man belongs better off in WWE, because to me, Jay White is a WWE performer and not a fucking AEW fucking performer. The way he comes off, the way he performs in the ring, the way he cuts his promos, the way he is as a character, is a WWE performer. Whether he liked it at the beginning or not. He was going to come to WWE at the beginning of the year last year. But Vince McMahon and his fucking dick decided to say, nah, I'm going to, also, while defecating on people, I'm going to fucking, sell the company and stop people from being hired. And because of that stupidity that Vince had to do, WWE lost out on not one, well, maybe one, because he is coming in. They almost lost out on Tama Tonga because he did not resign. Well, I guess it was more of an extension, maybe, but he stayed around for New Japan for a little bit longer. Now he's free agent. Now he's probably showing up this weekend I'm assuming he's going to be on Stand and Deliver to help out Anderson and Gallows. Because Anderson and Gallows, I think, are going to be challenging for the tag team titles. But they lost out on Switchblade Jay White. They weren't going to get Will Ospreay. I had a feeling Will Ospreay wasn't going to go there. Okada, maybe, just maybe. But Switchblade Jay White, I feel like was going to go to WWE. Had the fucking hiring freeze not happened. Another thing I don't care about. I don't care about the Young Bucks versus the Best Friends. Like what? Like, I know where this is. I know the finals is going to be FTR versus the Young Bucks. I don't care. Why do I not care? Because AEW, once again, Tony Khan is more worried about popping a 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer than he is. What is the storyline here between the Young Bucks and the FTR? The storyline is more about the Bucks than it is FTR. Thunder Rosa and Mariah May. This looks like they're going to have Thunder Rosa possibly challenge Toni Storm at the pay-per-view. Actually, no, I don't even think. Who the fuck is Toni Storm? Who is Toni Storm wrestling at the pay-per-view? Is she even wrestling on the show? She doesn't even have a match on the show, so what the fuck doesn't matter here? Another thing, right? Tony Khan has somehow made me a Eddie Kingston hater. And at one point, I liked Eddie Kingston. People on Saturday, I went back and watched that show. People on that Saturday wanted to see Malachi Black versus Adam Copeland for the TNT Championship in a singles match on the pay-per-view. What the fuck did we get? Another fucking tag, 6-man tag with fucking. And get this. Guess who the partners are for Adam Copeland on April the 21st. The opponents for this Friday's Supercard of Honor. Yes, Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe, who are going to be going against each other Friday for the ROH Championship. For some reason, they're going to be best friends come April the 21st. What? Just give me Malachi Black versus Edge, please. That's the match Edge said he wanted to have when Malachi Black was in WWE. But he was not anticipating him getting fired for no fucking reason. Another man who did not want to leave that company, which sadistically, I was kind of hoping for him to get released because he doesn't want to be there. You could tell that man doesn't want to be there. Buddy Matthews doesn't want to be there anymore. I don't know about Brody King. Santana did this Chris Van Vliet thing, and he mentioned about 2 AEW guys wanting to go back to WWE. Cody Rhodes, I think, was one of the guys he was talking about, and he said there was another one. The other one, I'm almost 100% positive, is Malachi Black. Another thing that CM Punk talked about was the Hangman Page stuff. I swear to Christ, people are dumb on the internet. It says, oh, Punk can't stop talking about the fucking Elite. And I'm like, what motherfucker? Who brought him up? Who brought that shit up? Ariel Helwani. He brought that shit up. Not CM Punk. Punk said when he came in there, he's like, I kind of figured this was going to happen. I prepared for it. I couldn't escape it. So he answered these questions. He didn't look like he wanted to talk about them, but he's going to have to at some point. He wants to move on from that fucking conversation. He doesn't give a shit about AEW anymore. And somebody brought up this up. And a lot of people have made this quote that he wants the positives that he did for AEW to outweigh the negatives. Well, that's never going to happen with these fucking AEW shills and CM Punk haters. CM Punk did do good for that company. He sold out the fucking United Center on a rumor that he was going to be there. And he showed up, and it was what? What was the attendance for that show? AEW, The First Dance. Let's look at the attendance record for The First Dance. 15,316 fans showed up for The First Dance, right? He was there. Sold out that stuff here. He helped do the first $1 million gate for that company. The whole workers' rights promos, that shit happened, and everything went down from there. The whole thing with Colt Cabana. I'm like, what? The Elite didn't want, and I know I've seen people put out the fucking clip of the Bullet Club doing it. Q&A by somebody asking them about CM Punk, and they said some Punk they would have that Punk in the Bullet Club, and it's like last time I checked, the Bullet Club was a dead faction, not a wrestling promotion. Sure, CM Punk the Bullet Club That's a faction thing, not a fucking professional wrestling company thing. CM Punk even brought up that he almost came back to WWE in 2021. Even before that, actually, he mentioned the backstage thing. Nick Khan, before he even was hired by WWE, was trying to get him back to WWE. It almost happened on I think 2 different occasions, and he eventually, decided with AEW, and the rest was history on that end. Now he's having look. You look at him now. He's having the time of his life here. He seems more happy than he's ever been, being around people who are not fucking morons. He got out of a company that was run by children. Let's not beat it around the bush. AEW needs a better person running that company. I'm sorry to tell you this, guys, but Tony Khan is not fit to run that company. They just hired, I believe, they just hired somebody to be their CEO of the company. What was it? Well, let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find it here. Give me a second here. Front office. Somebody who just got signed as the CEO. As COO. So, Tasha Irby, I believe I'm sorry if I butchered the name. Was announced as the I believe this is her chief operating officer. As the COO, right? That was news. He was a ex-WWE live events director. Was signed on to a chief operating officer. They needed one of those. Tony Khan is not fit to run the fucking company on his own. He needs people. He needs more people around him to tell him, no, we should not do this stuff. And with the 10 releases that happened today, that should just tell you right there, Tony Khan doesn't need to keep hiring and signing people because that's what he does. He's hiring people just so WWE doesn't get these people. Let's look at those list of people that I mentioned here. Gravity. Triple H could have picked up Gravity for NXT. He would have fit right in there. Stu Grayson would have been a great choice to be in NXT. The boys, if they wanted to have Dalton Castle instead of just the boys, Dalton Castle would have been an excellent fucking fixture in WWE. That character would have fucking got over, right? But Tony Khan doesn't want Triple H having any of these people. You have Tama Tonga, who has no interest in going to WWE and going to AEW. Because if he did, he would have been. He and Tangaloa would have already done because I was expecting that the first Forbidden Door for them to do FTR versus the Guerrillas of Destiny, or FTR or the Guerrillas of Destiny versus the Young Bucks, or whatever it was. They didn't do that because Tama Tonga hadn't wanted no fucking part of being a part of AEW. The same situation's happening with a lot of the rosters in Stardom. It's more specifically, 2 people who have just left the company. That being Giulia, who is loyal to one Rossi Ogawa, who fucking got a big Twitter meltdown I wouldn't say meltdown, but Tony Khan fucking had a field day on social media when they fired Rossi Ogawa. And that I can tell you, the people who decided to leave Stardom were pissed. 2 people in particular. Giulia, Utami. Utami, I feel like Utami felt she was a little bit disrespected when she came over to do the Ring of Honor thing. They brought her in to do the Ring of Honor thing against Trish Adora, right? Fine match, good match, right? But they gave Utami Hayashita, one of the best wrestlers on the entire planet, Stardom's top female wrestler, well, one of Stardom's top female wrestlers, a former World Stardom champion who held the fort down, who was the champion during Stardom's darkest period in 2020 after they had lost Hana Kimura because of dumbasses on social media, right? He gave this woman the jobber entrance. I watched the show just to see her compete. And what the fuck did he do? Gave her a fucking jobber entrance. She won the match. She was able to get her music played at the end of the fucking match. But she didn't. No one got to see her amazing entrance. No one got to see what a big deal this woman was. So I feel, this is just my personal opinion, a lot of people seem to agree with this. I think she felt disrespected by Tony Khan, and which is why one of the many reasons she decided to leave Stardom so she can join Rossy Ogawa, because she's already said that she does not want to come back to America to do pro wrestling shows. Tony Khan, I think, killed her passion to do that ever again. She did great for GCW. GCW loved having her there. She loved being there, and then she went to did the Ring of Honor stuff. And I'm sorry. I know Stardom is going to be a part of the Super Con of Honor show, which I'm going to run through that card and my quick predictions for that. And one of the issues, I've already seen it. I knew this was going to happen when they announced that they were going to do this. I saw a lot of people saying, basically, Io Sky 1, Io Sky 2, whatever, because they're Asian. That was the fucking issue. I knew they were going to have that issue. I knew that was going to happen, and that was one of the reasons why I did not want Stardom to be part of AEW in any way, shape, or form. Mina Shirakawa got 8 minutes. I guess the match was good. I didn't watch the match because I just refused to fucking give any fucking notions to Tony Khan after what he did to Utami. I have zero faith that the women of Stardom, the 6-woman tag, is going to get any fucking time, especially with Ring of Honor having 14 fucking matches on their show. 14. They'll give other matches, the other 6-man tag matches, whatever the fuck the Kingdom is doing. I guess I don't fucking know who the fuck are the trios champions in Ring of Honor right now. I don't even fucking have a clue. Oh, it's the fucking King. No, it's not the Kingdom. Who the fuck are the trios champions? Oh, it's the fucking Bullet Club Gold. Are they going to defend the tag titles? Well, probably not. Who knows? I don't fucking know. I don't know. My point is, I personally believe majority of what CM Punk says about Tony Khan and his incapability to run a company as a boss. He wants to be everybody's best friend. You cannot be everyone's best friend. Look at Triple H, right? Triple H, he'll buddy up with you, but when it's time to get down to business, he is a boss first, friend second. Right? I mean, I just read a article today by ESPN about the whole Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns stuff here. The plan before The Rock got involved was still going to be Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. The Rock came in and said, "Nah, let's do this because this is a bigger match." Triple H saw the response from the fans on social media and at the house shows and all this stuff, and I was like, "Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. Let's pivot back to the original plan because this is what people actually want." Because why? Because he wasn't being friendly to Cody Rhodes or being friends to anybody else. He was doing what a boss and a fucking person with a logical brain who runs a company would do. Is Tony Khan gonna pivot from the 6-man tag match at Dynasty for Edge versus Malachi Black in a singles match? No, fuck, he's not going to. He is not going to. Why? I fucking don't have a clue. This whole thing with the House of Black, by the way, and Eddie Kingston, I thought this was over months ago. Why are they going back to this? Why? Anyway, let's talk about some other funny stuff that CM Punk talked about on this interview before we go into Monday Night Raw. So Punk was talking about his appearance at the I think he said April. I think he said April. It was either April or May of last year where he showed up backstage at Raw because they were in Chicago, and he jokingly blamed Bayley for it, which is funny. He met a lot of people on the plane for the first time because he was on the plane. Jason Jordan, he's like, "What are you doing here?" and whatnot. So I was like, "I don't know." And so Liv Morgan was there helping out, trying to help Punk find his earbuds, which was funny. He went back there to see The Miz and Bobby Lashley, people like that. He even went up to Triple H. I had a little conversation here, and confirmed that Vince was the one that said, "Nope, get him out of there," or whatever it was. He said he felt like there was a bit of betrayal from AEW's part. He felt that AEW felt like that he betrayed him by showing up at a Raw event, right? Meanwhile, I'm gonna point this out here because this is what fucking irks my fucking skin here when it comes to Tony Khan and AEW. Apparently Tony Khan, like I said, and AEW had an issue with CM Punk appearing backstage at a Raw show because they thought he was trying to get a job at AEW. At this point, CM Punk and AEW were not on good terms. He didn't give a fuck anymore. Meanwhile, you have Naomi and Bayley backstage at AEW Dynamite 2 or 3 weeks ago, when Mercedes Moné debuted in Boston. Where's the outrage there, Tony Khan? Where's you don't see WWE complaining about that? Well, okay. Well, before that, let me backtrack. You don't see current day WWE under Triple H and Nick Khan complaining about that because they don't give a shit. Vince McMahon, if he was still back in charge, he would have said, "Nope, we're gonna bury them. Bayley's not gonna win the Royal Rumble. It's gonna be fucking Raquel or whatever it is." But Triple H and Nick Khan do not give a shit. They don't care. I don't care. I don't care if you're back. They were back to the stage to support Mercedes. That was it. CM Punk was there. he was invited, according to him, by Bailey, and so he went to meet some people there, and that was the first interaction he's had with Triple H since 2014. And they've squashed the beef that they had, him and Punk and Triple H. So there's that. So all that stuff. Some other things on the podcast, which I thought was very funny. So he did talk about Brooklyn and Raw. He wasn't on Raw tonight. Which is weird because he was in Brooklyn. The fans wanted him on the show, but we'll talk about that when we get there. He did mention that WWE had some pay-per-views they were going to announce for coming up, which he alluded to, talking about. We to find out today that Clash of the Castle was coming back for June the 15th, and on what I was able to gather, because I did do some digging around. I couldn't verify the venue where this show was going to take place, but I did get confirmation on to where the host area was going to be, and that is going to be Glasgow, Scotland. Yes, Clash at the Castle will be held in Glasgow, which is fantastic stuff. I believe it's the first WWE pay-per-view event to be held in Scotland. And they'll be at the OVO Hydro Arena. This is the first technically this is going to be the first actually no, that's not true, because they're doing Berlin and France. They're doing Paris and Berlin in standard arenas. Same thing is going to be happening here with the Hydro for Clash of the Castle. And you'd think, because they were in Principality for the stadium over there for Cardiff for 2022. They didn't do one last year, which is very interesting, which I thought was an interesting thing. But yeah, they're going to be doing some stuff here for pay-per-view wise, and I'm very excited. So the next few shows from WWE coming up, you got WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday. Actually, nope. Scratch that, because I'm going to include NXT as well. We got Stand and Deliver on the afternoon of Saturday. Then at 7 p.m., I believe it's 7 p.m., we're going to have WrestleMania Night 1 on the 6th. And on Sunday, WrestleMania Night 2. Backlash France. It's not going to be Paris. It's just in France on May the 4th. Which, if Giulia was going to make an appearance for WWE, she wouldn't be doing the Backlash show, because she would be in Japan for the Pro Wrestling Noah pay-per-view event. June 9th, which was moved, it was originally supposed to be May 26th, was moved to June the 9th for NXT Battleground at the UFC Apex Arena in Enterprise, Nevada. Like I mentioned, June 15th for Clash at the Castle in Scotland. They go back to Toronto for pay-per-views for the first time in over 4 years. The first pay-per-view to take place in Toronto since SummerSlam of 2019. It'll be Money in the Bank on July 6th. And then NXT Heatwave the very next night in the same arena, the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. August the 3rd, Cleveland Browns Stadium, Cleveland, Ohio for SummerSlam. And then August the 31st for Bash in Berlin, Germany at Uber Arena. So there is that. All right. And so let's get into the SmackDown. Not SmackDown, Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was your standard show here. I know we're an hour in here. I'm done talking about CM Punk. Punk will be at WrestleMania this weekend. He will be doing the pre-show events, the kickoff shows for Saturday and Sunday, and then he will be doing how much of commentary we don't know. All we know for a fact is on Sunday he will be doing the commentary for the Drew McIntyre Seth Rollins match. We did find out as well the full card for WrestleMania on both nights. We'll talk about that when we get to our predictions. I'm actually going to do my predictions here on this particular show. That way I don't have to do them for Friday. So that way I can have them set and all that stuff there. So Monday Night Raw was commercial free for the first hour. We had the Bloodline come out. They said some stuff here. Basically saying, I beat Cody's ass. You saw me beat his ass. Blooded him up, The Rock says, and all that jazz here. The Roman Reigns comes out. He talks about his documentary, which I haven't seen. By the way, I did see the Bray Wyatt documentary. I will talk about the Bray Wyatt documentary at the end of the review, because I did forget. I was going to mention the Bo Dallas stuff. Did seem like just using a return for Bo Dallas, which is cool, I guess. But the documentary, the Bray Wyatt documentary, I thought was fantastic. We do have confirmation that Bray Wyatt, because this was confirmed, this was reported, and it was confirmed that Bray Wyatt got really mad at mainly Vince McMahon. He didn't, his name wasn't explicitly said, but he really got fucking upset with people getting involved with this stuff here. So he also confirmed that he hated the Burnt Fiend. I hated the Burnt Fiend. I was over the Fiend at that point. So yeah, we did get some unreleased footage interviews of the late Brody Lee. He did talk about on this stuff on there. Interviews I've never seen of Bray Wyatt. Talked about the stuff with the Undertaker. That was something cool. We've seen. I don't know if he ever saw this video publicly when Brody passed, but we did see Bray break down, talking about Brody Lee and all that stuff there, and then the stuff that got everybody, which was the phone call that Bo got about Wyndham passing away and all that stuff there. So yeah, it's a great documentary. If you guys haven't seen it, I would encourage you guys to sometime this week before WrestleMania, whatever. It's almost 2.5 hours long. It's on Peacock. I don't know if it's going to be. Hopefully, it'll be up on the WWE Network for people outside the United States. But it's something I would recommend you guys go back and watch. But back to the Roman stuff. I have not seen the Roman Reigns documentary. He did. I do know he mentioned things like he didn't want to turn babyface. Well, he didn't want to be a solo babyface, nor did he want the Shield to break up. In hindsight, probably should have not done that. He also mentioned if he loses on Sunday, he's going away. So we'll see what that entails. We'll get to the predictions for WrestleMania when we get to that here. Seth Rollins comes out. He basically, mocks the Bloodline and all that stuff here and says, I want to match with you, Rock, here tonight on Raw. Pick any stipulation you want. Hell, if you don't want to do that, maybe your tribal chief can grow some balls and actually perform on television. Nope, it is a big... It was a worse option. It was Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa is fucking boring, man. Like, this version of Solo Sikoa is boring, man. I heard people talk about, well, what happens when he breaks away from the Bloodline? Like, if that ever happens with Solo Sikoa, I want the Solo Sikoa from NXT. I don't want this fucking Bloodline bullshit if they do that. So, you know. So they're talking about promoting WrestleMania. Brock's making damnness to make sure that Cody Rhodes is the biggest babyface going into night 1 and night 2. So yeah. So it is. So we find out for the main event, it's going to be Cody Rollins versus Solo, Bloodline rules and whatnot. So there's that. We go into the back there. Roman says that he is going to be going. He's going to take the rest of the night off to work on the speech. Because we did find out that Roman Reigns will induct Paul Heyman into the WWE Hall of Fame. So that was very interesting. I wanted to see CM Punk, but it makes a lot more sense. I'm not mad at it being Roman Reigns. Had his name not been involved with the lawsuit, I think Brock Lesnar would have been on WrestleMania and also would have inducted probably Paul Heyman to the Hall of Fame. So they show us well, I think I like that they're integrating this into television because it reminded me of a little bit of what WCW did back in '98 with Jay Leno when they had the horrible tag match at Road Wild between Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan versus DDP and Jay Leno. Actually, they did that a few months prior to with Bash to the Beach when it was not Jay Leno, when it was DDP and Karl Malone versus Dennis Rodman and Hulk Hogan. That was a little bit better because at least Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone actually tried to put in the work to perform professional wrestling moves. Jay Leno just did a fucking wrist lock majority of the match here on that show. I may do like in the future for future reference because I was going to do this for the Saudi show a few years ago, 2 years ago, which was the World War III, 96 or it's 97. I don't know. But I'm thinking about reviewing my favorite WCW pay-per-view of all time, which is Halloween Havoc 1997. Thinking about it, but I'll let you guys know if I want to, because I might start throwing in classic pay-per-views for the podcast. I'll let you guys know on that situation there. The Judgment Day. Oh, sorry, I'm skipping ahead here. So I mentioned the whole thing with this what I was talking about here. So Ariel Helwani, after the whole CM Punk stuff that apparently pissed a lot of he pissed in everyone's cornflakes. That being AEW shills and CM Punk haters, he pissed in their cornflakes. After that, Rhea Ripley came on, and they did that. They tried to do an angle here, and they were about to get into it here. Kathy Kelly is standing with Becky Lynch. She asks her if she has any comments about her actions earlier today. Becky says that she'll be in the ring later tonight if Rhea wants to answer the call. Then the Judgment Day defeated DIY in the New Day. This match was all right. But Priest hits the South of Heaven and then he rages edge on Ciampa to get the win here. Rumor is that the ladder match, they may have a replacement team for Theory and Waller. I don't know. I kind of hope not, because if they're gonna do that and it ends up not being the Motor City Machine Guns, then I don't give a shit. That's just me. I've already mentioned the stuff with The Rock and Roman Reigns here. This was actually excellent stuff here. So we seen a video package of Chad Gable training Sami Zayn for his Intercontinental Championship match with Gunther on Saturday night. For Saturday night, which it was basically all to remind him. It reminded me of the Rocky stuff. And the Rock and then Sami Zayn basically verbatim said the Rocky 3 line stuff like, I'm afraid. I'm scared of losing. Is that what you want me to say? So I think we'll get to that. It seems like they're going to have Sami Zayn beat Gunther, but I'll tell you about that here. We see Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest become upset with Dominic Mysterio for allowing Legado del Fantasma into the Judgment Day's lounge without letting them know, and all that stuff there. Bronson Reed and Sami Zayn went to a double disqualification due to outside interference. Gunther, who dragged out Chad Gable, beat his ass. Then he beat up Sami Zayn, and again sets more stuff up for a Saturday night's Intercontinental Championship match, which I cannot wait for. We see Jey Uso chatting with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne going to be at WrestleMania. Lil Wayne tells Jey that he'll be at WrestleMania and to premiere a new Weezy song. So we'll see what that happens there. Maxine Dupri and Ivy Nile unfortunately defeated Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell. They're still teasing. They're still doing more with this Candice heel turn. I'm still waiting to see where they go with it. Will that result in a breakup between Indi and Candice? We'll see. We will see. Jey Uso tells Seth Rollins that he has his back in Bloodline rules in his Bloodline rules match with Solo Sikoa. We've seen an excellent Drew McIntyre video package where Drew McIntyre is in a funeral parlor saying, "Look into my eyes. What do you see? CM Punk doesn't have a match in Philly." Basically saying, just like his triceps, people are trying to get away from him, and whatever. It was fucking great stuff. Drew McIntyre needs to win the championship on Sunday. If you do all this with Drew McIntyre as doing the best work of his fucking career, and he loses the fucking the championship match, oh boy, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. What doesn't piss me off is this excellent match with Ivar and Ricochet. I'm not gonna go into it because I don't want to spend here too much time, but this match is awesome. Ricochet has been having awesome matches lately, which and I was listening to the Solo Monster. He made up a great point. It's like, who are they building him up for? Because they're obviously doing this for a reason. And somebody mentioned maybe Carmelo Hayes. I don't know what they're going to do with Ricochet here. Who knows? Who knows? But Ivar came back from injury. He was not medically cleared last week. I believe it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be Ivar and. So this match was supposed to happen last week. It was supposed to be Ivar and Ricochet, and ended up being Ricochet and JD McDonough, which was an excellent match. But yeah, 360 for the win, or 630. I mean, for the win here. Great stuff here. Ricochet, phenomenal talent. He's just the only thing I don't like about Ricochet is his promos. Everything else about him is phenomenal stuff. Ivar is phenomenal for his size too, so that's good stuff here. We go back to Judgment Day and Legado del Fantasma. They're watching Ricochet's win from backstage. Damian Priest questions why Ricochet hasn't been dealt with. JD assures that he'll take care of him during the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on Friday's night SmackDown. Dominic says if JD can't get the job done, he has a backup plan. Andrade walks into there and introduces himself to Santos Escobar, which that singles match in the future is going to be fantastic, and I can't wait for that. Then, he tells Andrade that being Dominic saying he'll make him a full-fledged member of the crew if he can take care of Ricochet, which Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest is not too happy about. Speaking of Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch comes out basically saying, "Get your ass out here. I'm going to kick your ass." Talking about Rhea Ripley. Adam Pearce comes out and says, like, I'm not going to make this happen. This is not going to happen on my watch here. We're not going to wait. We're not going to waste the biggest women's match that we have on this bullshit, basically. Rhea Ripley comes out and doesn't give a shit, and they start beating each other up, and it was great stuff. I'm very excited for their match on Saturday. I hope they open the show. Becky Lynch wants to open WrestleMania, and I say let her. If they're not getting the main event spotlight this year, they probably were going to get the main event spot prior to The Rock coming back and CM Punk coming back. Because before The Rock coming back, CM Punk and that was another thing. CM Punk did confirm that the plan for WrestleMania was supposed to be him and Seth Rollins as the main event of night one. But obviously the injury stopped that. But before Punk came back, I'm almost positive it was going to be Becky and Rhea in the main event of night one. But but that should be a lot of fun there. So there is that. Though I did like, because in the back they were still going at it. Fucking Adam Pearce says, "Control your mommy," and that fucking killed me. That I died laughing from that. That was pretty funny. So Damage Control comes to the ring here. We had a very good 6-woman tag match. It was Damage Control with Io Sky. It was Asuka, Dakota Kai, and Kairi Sane with Io Sky in their corner, taking on Tegan Nox, Shayna Baszler, and Zoey Stark. This was a lot of fun here. I enjoy all three of these women in the ring here. Kairi Sane is one of my absolute favorite wrestlers. Same thing with Asuka. Dakota Kai is great. Io Sky is out there looking stunning as always. Very looking forward to her championship match with Bayley, which I hope they steal the show. Well, at least try to. I think they're gonna have one of the better matches on the show. Tegan Nox is great. Shayna Baszler, at first I didn't really care for her, but then she grew on me with her incredible run as NXT Women's Champion. Zoey Stark has grown on me for a while now. Damage Control gets the win here. The ending of this match was pretty cool here. I liked so Dakota Kai hits the Kwai kick on into the turnbuckle. I think who I don't remember who it was on Tegan Nox. And then I believe Kairi gets tagged in. Well, Asuka gets tagged in. Who tags in Kairi? Asuka sets her up in the Scorpion Death Drop position and then hits the insane elbow from the beautiful insane elbow from Kairi Sane. By the way, it's going to be Kairi Sane is going to be wrestling on the show on Saturday or Sunday. I believe it's Saturday with Asuka, who was cleared to compete. We found this was Asuka's first match back. Or might have been, I don't know. She might have had a match this past weekend, but this is her first televised match since the report of her hurting her knee on that SmackDown a few weeks ago. Which I think it's pretty cool to see, because this is actually the last match that they had together as a tag team was on WrestleMania 36. Funny enough, they were the tag team champions. They lost to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, which was a really good match, by the way. Thankfully, we won't have to worry about the Damage Control losing their championships at WrestleMania, because they're not being defended. So there's that. I don't exactly remember what Dakota Kai had said. There was a promo, but I can't seem to find it anywhere, and I didn't write it down. So there's that. So this was really cool. I like how they did this here. Seth Rollins was walking backstage, getting ready to go to his match here. Kathy Kelly was asked questions about whatever, the Bloodline rules thing. He said he has a plan B. He wanted to do Drew McIntyre, who smiles, and goes to the ring. Which I love that stuff here. This match was not anything to write home about. The stuff that people talked about here was, Jimmy Uso got involved. Jey Uso then comes out. They start brawling up the ramp, and out of nowhere, The Rock threw the fucking hell out of Jey Uso back out to the ring here. I have no fucking idea where Jimmy Uso went. He just fucking disappeared. That was like the last we saw of him. He gets beat up at the ramp. He gets in the ring with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins smiles. Out comes Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes seems to finally get some shots in on The Rock. Rock finally gets physical for the first time in a while. Rock didn't get bloated, by the way, I've noticed. He seemed to be moving well. We'll see about how well that lasts on Saturday. But Cody's getting ready to hit the crossroads or whatnot on, I believe, like a table or whatever. And then then the Roman, who we thought was left, came out, speared Cody or whatever. At this point, fans were chanting for CM Punk to come out and save the day. Spear to Cody Rhodes, and then Rock takes off a weight belt that had the American Nightmares logo on it. I guess it was one of Cody Rhodes' weight belts, and they just started fucking whipping shit out of Cody and Rollins like a government mule, like a fucking whipping dog. And that's how Raw closed the show. Not a bad Raw. Not better than last week. Last week's Raw was untouchable. In terms of that. So there is that. So let's look forward to. Let's go over our previews and predictions for a few shows here. I don't actually know the card for Spark Joshi, so I'm not going to talk about that. I do know a few new matches were announced for Windy City Riot. We do know we now have matches announced for Mina Shirakawa and Azumi. Azumi will be challenging Stephanie Vakir for the Strong Women's Championship, and then Mina Shirakawa will team with Viva Vane, take on Alex Windsor and Trisha Dora. So we do know that. Now, for some reason, this is listed as Naito and Moxley as a one singles match without the title involved. I'm pretty sure that said Naito said if he had won the championship, I can't retain the championship, the match with Moxley was going to be for the title, but who knows at that point here? Who fuck knows? Supercard of Honor. Excellent. Now let's actually do the show that's on Thursday, which is the Stardom American Dream Show, which is going to take place in Philadelphia on Thursday, April 4th, at the 300 Arena, the HCW Arena. The matches we know are going to be taking place on that show, or as followed. There's only 5 matches currently announced for this show. Micah will defend the World of Stardom Championship against Megan Bayne. May Sere will defend the High Speed Championship. She had a phenomenal match with Yuzuki on Sunday night, which I recommend you guys go watch that one. Against Ram Kachau and Saki Kashima, the former champion. A 6-woman tag match. Azumi, Sai Kamatani, and Cameron Bernea. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. They will take on the team of Momo Watanabe, Starlight Kid, Stephanie Vakira. Momo Watanabe, fun fact, on Sunday night, wrestled Utami Hayashida for the last time in a really good 10-woman tag match. Technically the final, well, it's not really the final feud between Oedo Tai and oh my god, what the fuck is Queen's Quest? But it was the last time that Utami, for the time being, depending on how long that lasts, that Utami and Momo Watanabe will ever wrestle each other. Funny enough, I did even put out this tweet that Utami or Momo Watanabe beat Utami in their first ever match against each other, which was the singles match in New York at the I forgot what arena it was, but it was the first big overseas shows that American show that they had for Stardom at the Big Apple WrestleMania weekend. She beat her there, and then she pinned her on that show. It seems like they're giving Momo Watanabe a push. I'm hoping that's the case. I really hope that's the case, because Momo Watanabe, if there is anybody on the Stardom roster that deserves a run with the red belt, it's Momo Watanabe. But that's just me. She will be teaming with Starlight Kid and Stephanie Victor, depending on whether or not she retains. Oh, she'll still be the champion. Other shows don't happen until the 12th. Another six-woman tag. The IWGP Women's Champion Mayu Iwatani will team up with Momo Kogo and Tam Nakano. So over a little bit of Stars reunion to take on Mina Shirakawa, Mirai May, and Zaya Brookside. A little bit of Club Venus reunion. And Shiri will team with Konami, who just signed full time with Skabon, and Skabon kind of put Stardom under the bus here, because now we do know that Konami was released by Stardom not that long ago. They would take on Willow Nightingale and Saki. My predictions for that show, not that too difficult here. So I'm gonna give the old undercard here a little bit here. I think Shiri and Konami are gonna get the win there. I think Momo Watanabe, Momo Koga, and Tam Nakano may get the win on that end there. I think Momo Watanabe. Oh, excuse me, Momo Kogo and Mayu Iwatani and Tam Nakano. I'm sorry, Momo Watanabe and Starlight Kid. I think, and Stephanie Kerrigan gonna get the win there to keep building momentum for Momo Watanabe. I think Momo Watanabe may end up pinning Azumi. Maybe, who knows? May Sarai will retain the High Speed Championship by pinning Ram Kichao. I don't know if they're going to have her pin Saki Kashima. And then Megan Bane's going to retain, not Megan Bane, Micah's going to retain against Megan Bane to set up the potential match at Dream Queendom, because we did find out two official matches for Dream Queendom. We do know that Mayu Iwatani will defend the IWGP Women's Championship against Sarai. We found that out. Oh my God! I think it was during the Cinderella finals, and then we also found out this past weekend that Hanan will cash in her championship opportunity for the Wonder of Stardom Championship against Sardiano, and then two matches that have been basically heavily teased, being the World of Stardom Championship match, Micah versus possibly Momo Watanabe, and the Goddess of Stardom Tag Team title match, which is the new champions, Mai Sarai and Suzu Suzuki, defending against possibly Kokuma and Hazuki Fuka Double Crazy, Fukuwa Double Crazy, or whatever you want to call them, FWC. So there's that. Ring of Honor. We're going to go over the card for this show. There's not a lot of matches. Only 6 matches currently announced for the show. We're going to go over the predictions for the show. So we got a tournament final match to determine the inaugural ROH Women's World Television Championship. It's Billy Starks taking on Queen Amarana. I'm going to go with Billy Starks on this one, because they've seemed like they've been investing a lot of time with Billy Starks over in Ring of Honor, especially with the whole thing that they're going on with Athena, which we'll get to Athena in a little bit here. So I'm going to go with Billy Starks there. So yeah, Kyle Fletcher will defend the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, which I still have no idea when he won that fucking title. He will defend against Lee Johnson. I don't think Lee Johnson is going to take it there. I think Kyle Fletcher is going to retain the championship there. We have a Stardom Showcase 6-woman tag match. Mai Sarai will team with Micah and Mina Shirakawa to take on Tam Nakano, Azumi, and Saya Kamatani. I'm gonna go with Team Micah here. It'd be weird to have the world champion pinned on her first like big stage here. This could be one of the biggest crowds she's probably ever performed in front of. So there's that. I want to be proven wrong with Tony Khan and Stardom, but I'm just very cautious based on how the Utami stuff went here. Athena will defend the Ring of Honor Women's Championship against Hikaru Shida. This match should be fucking awesome. I'm gonna go with a title change here. This is gonna be the first title change that I have here because I think it's about time that Athena gets the call up to the main roster, which is AEW. She's been holding the fort down with the Ring of Honor. She's held the Ring of Honor Women's Championship for 479 plus days. I think it's about time to hang up her run in Ring of Honor, and AEW is doing nothing with the Hikaru Shida over there on Dynamite and Collision. So just give Shida the runs with the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. And yeah, I'm going to go with Hikaru Shida to win the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. She would also, which would entail Shida be the first ever woman to win the Ring of Honor Women's Championship and the AEW Women's Championship. Johnny TV, John Morrison versus Dalton Castle. Fight without honor. Unfortunately, I feel bad for Dalton Castle. He just lost the boys, so he's not going to have a team out there. But I'm going to go with Dalton Castle for the win here. I don't give a shit about John Morrison in 2024. I don't. I like Dalton Castle there, so I'm going to go with that. Eddie Kingston defending the Ring of Honor World Championship, against Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe should absolutely win the championship here. He was supposed to get the championship match against Claudio Castagnoli back in, what was it, Final Battle? Yeah, it was that Final Battle. No, it wasn't that Final Battle. It was fucking Death Before Dishonor. It was supposed to be Claudio and Mark Briscoe, but Mark Briscoe went down with injury and had to get surgery. I think it was like a knee injury, and was forced to be removed from the show. I think I'm going to go with Mark Briscoe to win the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship from Eddie Kingston. I think Eddie Kingston's going to drop the the New Japan Strong Championship to whoever the fuck he's going to face for it. WrestleMania 40. Here is the full card for nights 1 and 2. On night 1, we have Damage Control, which is Kairi Sane, Asuka, and Dakota Kai. Will take on the team of Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi. Unfortunately, I hate to burst a lot of Asuka fans' dreams here, and I love Asuka, I love Kairi, I love Dakota, but Bianca Belair is going to get the win here with her team here. Again, I just don't think Asuka gives a damn if she wins a match at WrestleMania or not. I don't think that matters to her. I pointed this out to one of my friends and I said, I feel better that she's on the card. Her and Kyrie are on WrestleMania than not being on WrestleMania at all. Even if they were on the pre-show, at least they were on WrestleMania. That's all that matters to me. So there's that. A match that I still think should be Andrade, but it's going to be Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio, rather. I think... I'm going to go with Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio here. Rey beat Dom last year in a surprisingly very good match. Dominic Mysterio's best match he's ever had. I'm gonna go with Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. I just don't know why. I'm just gonna go with that here. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. I'm gonna go with Jey Uso here. I don't know. I don't really give a shit about this feud anymore. I'm ready for it to move on, but I'm gonna go with Jey Uso on that one here. We got the six-pack ladder match for the WWE Tag Team titles. As the Judgment Days, Finn Balor and Damian Priest defending against DIY, Awesome Truth, A New Day, British Strong Style, and Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Supposedly, the rumor is that they're going to take out Austin Theory and Grayson Waller for a mystery team. If it's not the Motor City Machine Guns, I don't care who they put in there. Michael Cole did make mention on commentary during the Judgment Day DIY New Day match that the match can only be in when both titles, because both the Raw and SmackDown tag team titles will be suspended from the ring, and both titles have to be pulled down in order for the match to end. So it looks like they've kind of set up a shitty way to do it, to split the tag team titles. But I'm going to go... All right, so this is interesting here. So I think Austin Truth are going to win both titles somehow. I don't know how. And then the next night on Raw, they're going to be like, well, I'm not going to SmackDown, or I'm not going to Raw. But I'm going to go with Awesome Truth. If they were going to do a double win here, I'm going to go with Awesome Truth for one set tag titles. And you know what? I could see Awesome Truth winning one set of tag titles and Priest and Balor retaining the others. If they are going to do that. But if not, Awesome Truth winning both titles. Gunther and Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. I think Sami Zayn is going to win the title. They've been just building this up. If they're going to do the Rocky thing, then Sami Zayn should win the championship. I think it's time. Otherwise, if Gunther's not going after the World Heavyweight Championship following WrestleMania, I don't want to see Gunther lose the championship. Given that it looks like when it comes to SummerSlam, it looks like they're going to do whoever wins the Drew Seth match is going to get the unfortunate honor of facing CM Punk maybe at SummerSlam. You know what? I'm going to change my prediction. I'm going to go with Gunther to retain the Intercontinental Championship. I would love for Sami Zayn to win the championship. I think Gunther may end up retaining it, only if they're not going to put Gunther in the Universal Championship. Oh, you know what? Actually, no. I'm going to go back with Gunther for the winner here, because for losing the championship here, because they may do something with Cody. We'll never know. Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley's got to retain here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Becky Lynch does not need the championship. I love Becky Lynch. Love Becky Lynch to death. Rhea Ripley needs to retain the championship. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Especially if the Liv Morgan fans and stands wanted to have the fucking Liv Morgan Rhea Ripley match, which is gonna probably happen after WrestleMania. She needs to beat Becky Lynch, because the end goal now after this is Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. And I'm hoping to some way for God that when we get to the draft, Bianca and Damage Control are far away from each other. Main event of night one. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes taking on Roman Reigns and The Rock. If Cody and Seth win, the Bloodline is banned from the Roman Cody match on night two. If their Bloodline win, it's Bloodline rules for night two on Cody and Rock. Cody and Rollins. Cody and Roman. Roman and Rock are going to win this match here, because I cannot fathom or think of the reason why they wouldn't have Cody and Rock and Roman win here to do all types of shenanigans, which I'm going to get to when we get to night two. Cody is gonna. We'll talk about it when we get there. I'm gonna go with The Rock and Roman winning this match here. Set up what happens in night 2. We're gonna go to night 2 now. We have Logan Paul defending the United States Championship against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. I wish this was Logan Paul and LA Knight, but I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with a Logan Paul retention here. I don't really care to see Randy Orton with another championship at this point in his career. Kevin Owens could do something with the United States Championship, but Kevin Owens really hasn't held a singles championship since the United States title back in 2017, or was it 2018? One of those 2 years that he held the United States Championship. I don't remember which year it was. I know he hasn't held the Intercontinental title since 2015, or 2016 rather. But I can't think of which year. It might have been 2017, might have been 2018. So I wouldn't mind seeing Kevin Owens with the U.S. title again. I have no desire to see Randy Orton with the championship in 2024. But I'm gonna go with the Logan Paul retention here. Match was just added earlier today. The Final Testament will take on Bobby Lashley and Street Profits in a Philly Street Fight. If you want me to give a shit about this faction, the Final Testament should absolutely win this match. So I'm going to go with the Final Testament. But if they fucking lose, I'm done with Karrion Kross. I'm already at the point where I don't give a shit about Karrion Kross as he currently stands. Because if he loses, it's time to go back to the drawing board. Just give me the Kross and Scarlett I see on social media being themselves. I guarantee you, if you just let them be themselves and not this movie character, they probably would connect more with the crowd. Just saying. AJ Styles versus LA Knight. LA Knight is probably going to get the win here. AJ Styles doesn't need the win. But AJ Styles is teasing in a new theme song. I swear to whatever God exists, buy the licensing rights to Evil Ways. If you're going to buy the licensing rights to Cult of Personality for CM Punk and fucking Kingdom for Cody Rhodes, I don't think they bought the license. Cody just owns that show. But my point is, same thing with fucking the other side for the Judgment Day. If you're gonna buy the licensing for these songs, do it for AJ Styles and Evil Ways. If they are really changing his theme song, I don't need some Def Revel fucking bullshit. Okay. Io Sky versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. As much as I love Io Sky, and I love Io Sky to death, she is one of my absolutely favorite professional wrestlers in the world. Bayley's going to win the title. She has to win the title. Why would you even bother building all this up for Bayley to lose the championship? Now, I can see Bayley being selfless and saying, you know what? I love Io. Let's have Io retain the championship at WrestleMania. Let's have her make history and be the first Japanese professional wrestler to actually win a match at WrestleMania as the champion. Nonetheless, the last Japanese wrestler to do that was Taka Michinoku at WrestleMania 14. So, but I think Bayley's going to win the championship there, and then they're gonna continue the feud there on with Dakota involved, and we'll see what happens there. Seth Rollins defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre with CM Punk on commentary. All signs point to Drew McIntyre winning the world title in front of fans finally, and I'm gonna go with Drew McIntyre winning the match, winning the World Heavyweight Championship. And I do not want to see this fucking stupid ass thing of, oh, Drew's gonna win the championship, and then Damian Priest is gonna cash in, or Drew's gonna lose the title match, and Damian Priest is gonna cash in. Keep Damian Priest away from the rest of the show after his ladder match. Do not have him involved with anything else on the show on either night outside of the ladder match. That's it. But I'm going with Drew McIntyre there. Main event of WrestleMania, undisputed Universal Championship. Cody Rhodes challenging Roman Reigns again. Cody Rhodes is winning the championship. They've told you multiple times. The Roman Reigns stands and Bloodline fans are in denial that this man is not winning the championship. They are in denial that this man is winning the championship. They think that he's going to lose the championship lose the title match because of stupid fucking things they thought of in their head. Like, for example, Damian Priest cashing in Money in the Bank, or Rock and Roman need the title, or whatever it is, or whatever stupid, or Jey Uso turning on fucking Cody Rhodes, or whatever, or Seth Rollins turning on Cody Rhodes. No. If we're gonna do the whole Bloodline rules thing, there's only two people that should be coming to the aid. If you want to throw Seth in there, sure. But there's only two people that should be coming to the aid of Cody Rhodes. One name being John Cena, because it just makes sense. Because Solo Sikoa is the one who retired John Cena, and John Cena coming back to even the odds against Solo Sikoa makes a lot of sense. And then who better to combat The Rock than The Rock's greatest fucking opponent and rival? That being one tough son of a bitch known as Stone Cold Steve Austin. I cannot fathom that if the glass shatters at WrestleMania when The Rock is beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes and whatever it is, and with Roman or whatever, and the glass shatters, there may not be a roof on Lincoln Field, but they'll blow something away. That crowd is going to lose their goddamn mind just to see Austin hit The Rock with one last stunner, and The Rock selling it like he would always sell a stunner. Oh yeah. Cody Rhodes is winning the WWE Universal Championship on Sunday night. WWE have told you that Cody Rhodes is going to win the championship without actually telling you Cody Rhodes is winning the title. The way they did that was by adding the stipulation that if Cody Rhodes loses to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, he can never again challenge for the WWE Universal Championship. He didn't say he couldn't challenge for the title as long as Roman Reigns had the championship. No. He said would never challenge could never challenge for the WWE Universal Championship ever again. But that right there automatically told you Cody Rhodes is winning the title. Cody Rhodes just resigned with the company. You don't do all this whole year-long thing with Cody for him to lose the title match again. Philadelphia is not the crowd to be doing that in front of either. Do not. I mean, Los Angeles, Hollywood, whatever, fine. You know, they aren't rabid wrestling fans like Philadelphia are. You do not want to pull that shit in front of 65,000 plus rabid Philadelphia wrestling fans. And especially if you're going to bring the Smart Mark crowd there in Philadelphia for WrestleMania. Oh, you're setting yourself up for fucking a backlash of proportions that you're not ready for at all. But yeah, that is my predictions for WrestleMania and all the other shows. The schedule for this week. is as followed. We got the Raw review that you're listening to right now. On Wednesday, we got AEW Dynamite. Thursday, we have the Stardom American Dream show, which I'm going to figure out where I might do that later on that night, while throwing in the Spark Joshi show, which I believe is also on Thursday, I think. I could be wrong. Let me look that up here. I'll tell you about that here. Friday is the SmackDown review, which I will be mainly covering SmackDown, but I will occasionally mention bypassing what's going on with the Ring of Honor, a Supercard of Honor on that review. And then Saturday, Night 1 WrestleMania review, and then Sunday, WrestleMania Night 2. Busy week, WrestleMania. It's always a busy week. I learned my fucking mistake doing I learned my fucking mistake doing the not the Stardom show, the fucking Ring of Honor show. Doing a Ring of Honor review with SmackDown review. That I'm never doing that again. But until then, I've been Matt. This has been the Mystery Wrestling Podcast. I will see you guys back here for Dynamite and then the busy week that is professional wrestling during WrestleMania week. Until then, we're out.